Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to show you the most efficient way to swing a golf club. All right guys, so the most efficient way to swing a golf club. Now the key here and the main point I want to get across is that the key to the most efficient way to swing the club is where your arms are, where they are in space from setup through backswing and downswing, and how close they are to each other. So I'm going to go through a couple different spots, show you what that looks like, show you how to practice it, and make your golf swing more efficient. So let's talk about the arm structure and how this whole thing works. Now, if I take my normal setup position, I'm going to show you where my arms are and how this works throughout the swing. If I go in here like normal, take a normal setup position, my elbows are a certain distance apart here, right? Now, the idea, and if you watch good golfers' swings, I think you guys will see the same thing, and how many guys are on tour that have a smart ball, tour striker smart ball, or something like that to keep their elbows closer together. The big picture, really like simple golf swing for dummies idea is that your elbows and your arms, I want two things to happen. One, I want the distance between your elbows to stay about the same from setup through the takeaway, through the backswing, through the transition, through impact, and into your follow-through piece. The distance should be about the same. Now, is that factually true if I measure? Might it get a little wider, a little narrower? Yes, the point being they're about the same, okay? That's part number one. And part number two is there's so many swing faults that come as a result of your elbows getting farther apart. And I'm going to go through some of them here today, right? So elbows close together is huge, okay? And if you do that, the second part of this video will kind of happen by itself. And that's that. I remember kind of back in the day, I was always taught, well, start with your arms in front of you. When you make a backswing, right? So they're in front of your chest to start. When I go back, they're still in front of my chest. At impact, they're still in front of my chest. And then into the follow through, they're in front of my chest. And while that's potentially overly simplistic, that's a good little visual to have. If I were to swing this club here, I want my elbows to be close. My hands, my arms, club are in front of my chest. I have that same feel into my takeaway, the same thing to the top of my backswing, the same thing in transition, the same thing at impact, the same thing in follow through. Well, you know what? That's pretty darn close to what really good ball strikers do, right? So most of you, and I see a lot of issues with this during the backswing right off the bat, right? So if I'm taking my normal setup position, I want to be having my elbows the same distance from here all the way to the top of my swing. Now, how do you know if you do that or don't do that, and how can you practice? Well, luckily, there's some products out there, right? Tour Striker Smart Ball is one we use all the time. Martin Chuck invented, super good. We're gonna use this here today. There's an impact ball that's good with this. You could use a Nerf football, something between your elbows, right? Now, as we go through this, I'll be the first to admit, I don't have a lot of trail shoulder flexibility. I can't externally rotate because of my thoracic. So not all of you are gonna do this for a full swing, but you can still build this in even to a half or 3/4. So how can you practice this? Well, if I take this Tour Striker ball and I put this between my elbows, just underneath my elbows like so, the goal for me would be, hey, I'm gonna take my setup. I feel like the ball's still there. My arms are in front of me. I'm gonna take my little takeaway position to my thigh. I feel like my elbows are still close. My hands are in front of my chest. I work it into my takeaway. I still feel like my elbows are close, hands in front of my chest. I'm gonna hinge up a little bit into about a halfway back position, and my elbows are still close, my hands are in front of my chest. I see countless amount of you guys, especially during the online lessons, who go up and have issues with the arm structure. So you'll go up to the top, these elbows will start to separate, would be part number one. Now, can some of you use this, and can some of this be good if you shallow it out for speed production? Sure, but when you go up to the top and the arms bend and they get really narrow, right? If this elbow gets behind my body, if I get this sort of look to it at the top, the amount of flaws and fixes that I have to do with that are unbelievable, right? So that's part number one, is just keeping that in front of you going back. And then part number two is keeping that during the downswing. How many swings do I see where at the top they're decent and then you come down and the elbows will get farther apart, the shaft will get steep right from here. I go up top, the elbows get far, the shaft gets steep, you stand up, all kinds of flaws. My point is this, which I guess I'm making taking a long time to make. If you were to put the ball in and you made half swings, halfway back, halfway through, it will eliminate a lot of flaws. The other beautiful thing for a lot of you guys that come in wanting more rotation You can build in more swing rotation as a result of good arm structure. What do I mean? I mean, if I have this golf ball in there below my elbows and I keep it in and I go back and through, guess what I must do to hit the ball? I must turn. There's no way I'm going here like this and I stop turning and I keep that ball and I actually hit a ball with any kind of speed. There's no way. For me to keep the ball in, I have to turn. Let me see if I can demonstrate one. Haven't done one of these yet, so we'll see if I can do this. No glove, it's hot, a lot of excuses. Ball's in here, back, and through. Good. So it's a little half one for me. And I can feel right away when I have this in, other than I need to put a glove on because my hands are sweating, that I need to turn a lot with this in. I feel like I need to turn more during my downswing follow through than even normal when I have this in. And like I said, if you watch my other videos, my elbows separate at the top. For me, more of a physical condition than I have to. But this is a beautiful thing for me to train in the field. You guys want to train in body rotation during the downswing? Put a smart ball in. Put a little ball in like this and make some half swings. And you tell me if you feel like you're turning more or less. I bet you feel like you're turning more. A little smart ball in, keep my hands in front of my chest back, and keep it through. Same thing, right? So, man, I get a sensation of a lot of chest, sort of mid. For me, I feel like my chest and sort of mid-belly, abdomen area has to turn a lot. I'm gonna do that one more time. Keep them in front of me, keep them in front of me. So we'll do one more little hit with that. Elbows close together, arms in front of my chest. And good, that was good. Now another piece that goes in with this is swing plane. Okay, so a lot of you guys that have takeaway issues, where the club head gets too far inside, you get up to the top and you have issues, a smart ball can do a lot for that too. If I take a setup and I put the ball in like this, if I keep the ball between my elbows, it's a lot easier for me to do this takeaway position like I like. Not a lot of forearm rotation, add a little hinge, have the club head in front all the way up to the top. It's a lot easier with this ball in for me to have the shaft more vertical. It's a lot more difficult for me to roll. I mean, I don't even know. You'd have to make a lot of body motion, no left side bend to do that. If I have the ball in, this will help clean up a lot of this and a lot of this going back. So for me, it fixes a lot of flaws, right? I would recommend this for a lot of you guys. If you have a back swing plane issue, use this as part of it. If you have a rotation issue, use this as part of it. If you have any kind of length issue at the top where you're too long at the top of your swing, use this. If your arms travel too far and your right elbow gets too narrow at the top, use this. If you want better wrist structure during the downswing, train that in, use this. If your arms stay close together and in front of your body, you get like 10 things for free. So should 100% of you use this to improve? I don't know, maybe 90, maybe 9 out of 10 of you at least. I would recommend, without even me seeing your swing, I would say you could use this as part of your sort of daily warm-up in the beginning of your range session. Throw this in for 20 balls. Is this gonna hurt any of you? Probably not. 9 out of 10, it probably helps a bunch. 1 out of 10, it makes no difference. I don't think it hurts any of you. So smart ball, oh boy. Smart ball, Tour Striker, we'll put a link down below. Grab this, grab the impact ball, grab a Nerf ball, grab something, put it between your elbows, just underneath. Let that help clean up a lot of your flaws. As always, if you guys have any issues on this to me is, and this is not one of those YouTube title thrusts, I legit think this is the most efficient way for you guys to swing a club. If you have any questions, leave us a comment down below. Hey guys, if you like this video, please do me a favor and click the like button down below. Click the notification bell if you haven't already, and please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you.